tell you something real quick. 778 games, 678 goals, 305 assists, 6 Ballon d'Ors. He spent 21 years at the same club. A player who needs no introduction, whose numbers speak for themselves. And as of today, his new chapter begins in Paris. Today, we're talking Messi, guys. What's up?
Messi, congrats to
What's up,
Messi
guys?
for joining PSG.
Joining PSG as of today, officially official.
Officially
And,
a PSG player for
Yeah,
2
Bad
years.
for the Barcelona fans. I'm sorry, guys. He left.
Yeah. Our Barcelona fans aren't listening right now. They're in mourning.
They're mourning.
Yeah.
They're mourning.
Let me ask you, Julian, what do you think PSG, Messi's move to PSG is such a huge deal?
It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. Simply because Messi is a rare breed, and not only he's one of the best players, if not one of the best. He single-handedly has stayed in a club since the age of 9. He was supposed to retire there. Nobody expected him to leave. This was a huge surprise to the soccer world. He was supposed to stay. He was going to sign a deal. Everyone was waiting for that. And all of a sudden, boom, it breaks. The whole world, the soccer world collapses. And we're like, where is he going to go? What's going to happen? The best player in the world is leaving Barcelona. He stayed there since he was a kid. He signed a contract as a 9-year-old on a paper napkin. And it's a big deal because he's one of the biggest players in the world, and he's leaving one of the biggest clubs in the world. So
Right. So Daniel, 21 years, dude. 21 years in one club. That's a lot. I mean, we rarely see that nowadays. What do you think? I mean, what do you think went wrong? Who's at fault here? Who is it? Is it La Liga? Is it Messi? Is it Barca officials? What's going on?
I mean, I think Messi would say it's La Liga's fault. Barcelona would say it's La Liga's fault.
Pointing each other.
we might be. Yeah, exactly. You know the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
But like, I think. I mean, if you had to blame someone, it would be the previous president of Barcelona, Bartomeu, which seems like he really screwed Barcelona over and kind of had to leave, and now they're dealing with the repercussions of it, which would be Messi leaving to Paris. So, I mean, you could blame pretty much everybody in the whole organization for that happening. I think it's a big deal that he left, because it's like he kind of had the fairy tale career. Like Julian said, he signed a contract on a paper napkin. He at 9 years old played there his whole life. 21 years later, we all thought it would be a fairy tale and he'd retire there. He would probably retire, then become a coach or whatever it would be at the same club. But it didn't happen that way, and I think, I mean, we're entering a completely new era where we don't have a Messi or a Cristiano in La Liga. Which will be missed. We will miss that rivalry, and we will miss the quality of soccer that those two brought. And so I think that's the importance of it. I think he took his talents to Paris, and it's most likely going to elevate the French league.
Right. Like you guys mentioned, 21 years. That's we rarely see a player go that long at such a high level.
Yeah, that's so true.
Such a high level.
Consistent high level.
Consistent high level where, the last years he may not have. He probably didn't have that supporting cast that you were used to Barcelona having, but they still had names. They still had Griezmann and they had Dembele and Suarez was in there for a while, but I don't know. For me, I think the administration let him down. He carried that team for too long, and last year he wanted to leave. He did send that fax that he was not going to resign. He was able to resign or play the contract out, and for them to not be able to come up with to resolve that money issues in order for him to sign your franchise player. I mean, that's on the administration's fault.
Exactly.
You can't fault Messi for that. You can't fault Messi for that at all. I mean, 21 years. I mean, sheesh, 21 years is a lot of time.
Yeah.
I blame the administration. They failed money wise. Something's happening behind the doors where they're not handling the money well, and you see it now. You see a big impact. Messi's leaving, and
Messi is living. Yeah,
Messi left.
So
Messi's left.
Messi's gone.
It's official.
Official. So 678 goals. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, that's players wish to have a fraction of those goals. You know what I mean? For your total career. And he's still doing it. 778 games played. I mean, and I mean 678 goals, 778 they go it's like a goal every other, every 89 minutes or something like that.
It's nuts, dude. It's absolutely nuts.
Ridiculous stats. So what do you guys think is Messi's greatest accomplishments so far? I mean, while he played for Barcelona, what do you think, then?
For me, it would be the consistent high level that he brought every game. Like you said, I feel like every time I saw him play, he at least scored one goal. And it seems like he brought it for 21 years. Like he brought the highest level for 21 years. And it's nuts. Like I think his greatest accomplishment is that loyalty to his club. And I mean, he has all the individual accolades and trophies that you want. But I think to me, the one thing that I admire about him is the loyalty for 21 years.
Right.
I'm sure he could have gone somewhere else, but he stayed there and brought it and made his team that much better every single week.
Yeah. I agree with Daniel. The loyalty of staying with a club for that long is one of the greatest accomplishments anybody could do. For me personally, I think bringing not so much Messi's accomplishment, but the impact he had on La Liga and like bringing that much attention to not only Barcelona, Real Madrid, and any team that he played against. He just brought so much attention because everybody wanted to see Messi. And he made everyone's game go up more. So that alone is just a great accomplishment in the soccer world, in football itself. Along with winning a record, no one has ever done that, 6 Ballon d'Oros. I mean, that's a really great accomplishment, and he did it with Barcelona. So to me, I mean, you can't get any better than that. He might even win the 7th one, but who knows?
Yeah, I think reaching those 6, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. The supporting cast that he's always had has always helped him elevate his game even more. If you notice, when he was playing with Xavi, with Iniesta, they were basically unstoppable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was how many goals are they going to get today? Anytime they stepped on the field, it was how many goals can they get today?
It was scary. It was scary.
It was so scary, and the stats and the records and the trophies, they all speak for him. But like you mentioned, I think the 6 Ballon d'Ors is like the top. That's the benchmark for players coming up now. Players like Mbappe, players like Haaland. I'm sure they look at Messi, they look at Ronaldo, they're like, we want to achieve what they have or even more.
Yeah.
So for me, him changing the game to, I guess, so where people can see that records can be broken and your name can still, you can still be making history while you're playing. You don't have to retire and then that's it. So, can't wait for the next generation. See what comes out of Barcelona or whatever they do. Hopefully they can, bounce back from this.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
What do you guys think is your favorite Messi moment?
I would say So, my favorite Messi moment, or the most memorable one that I had, was just the first time I ever saw him play. It was in a Clásico, Real Madrid versus Barcelona. This kid, I think he was wearing either the number 19 jersey, I believe so. It
I think
wasn't
he was wearing the 30.
Was it wearing
I
the
think he was
30?
wearing the 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't the 10. And then he comes on, and I'm just like, who is this kid? And he comes on, and he scores 3. He scores a hat trick. He's pretty much the reason why Real Madrid didn't win that game. And it was at that time, like, I look back at the highlights, and it was at that time when I noticed that Barcelona was one of his goals. Messi was just completely by himself. The Real Madrid defense had no idea what to do with him, no idea where he was, and it was then that it just kicked off the whole Barcelona era with Messi being the best player, and I was witnessing the birth of that moment, and I was just like, oh my God, this random kid scored 3, and that's when you knew he was just gonna be a headache for everybody.
Yeah. For me, I'd say it was not that long ago. It was actually 2017, I think. The Clásico, where it was, I think Madrid was winning. No, it was 2-1 Barcelona. James from Madrid scored, and so everybody's happy. It was 2-2. It was going to be it was going to end the tie. In the last second, Messi scores that goal to take them to win 3-2.
The famous
And
jersey,
it was just
jersey.
Yeah, I think it was that same one where exactly where he lifted up his jersey. Yeah. And I think for me, it was that moment where, like, that moment I had felt for so many. It was a culmination of that moment I felt so many times before, where, like, he you knew he was going to do something against Madrid, or, like, you were scared. You didn't know what was going to happen, but, like, that moment, like, as a Madrid fan, it broke my heart because I wanted us. I was so happy from that James goal that it was like a roller coaster of emotions, where I was up and then completely, like, stomped on my heart at that moment. And so it was like, oh man, like, this guy's amazing. But as a Madrid fan, I had to keep it to myself and be like, oh man, like, that sucks. But the guy was amazing, and he does stuff constantly where, like, people are watching him play as if he was playing a video game, and they can't stop him. They can't do anything about it. It's like, for me, that probably was the biggest moment. Not only because he held up the jersey and it was a great celebration, but it was like, man, like, it was a roller coaster of emotions for me. That was the most impactful moment where I was like, you got to give it to him. Like, even after the hat trick in 2006 that you're talking about, Julian, like, you kind of still, as a Madrid fan, you kind of still hate on him a little bit. You respect his game, but it was that moment where I was like, man, he's so good. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't even hate on him because, like, he's so good. But
I get that. I think most of my anxiety while I was growing up was because of him. You know what I mean? Every time it was a classical weekend or whatnot, it was like, oh, geez, how are we gonna stop this guy? How, you know what I mean? A big headache, and for me, that's one of the moments that I admire from him is he always came to play when it was a big game like that. He always came to play. He was always going to do something. So I guess one of my favorite Messi moments would be him in the Clásicos. Not only because he dominated but also because he brought the best out of Madrid.
Yep.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
So without one, they can't be the other. And even though they're rivals, it's like
a symbiotic relationship.
Exactly. When I remember when Messi announced that he was retiring from Argentina, I was low key heartbroken because I needed him to stay, because I needed him. If we beat Argentina, we'd be like, we beat Argentina with Messi. they had
Yeah.
Messi on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and every time Messi would play, even if he didn't do anything for like more than half of the game, you could never keep Messi down or just you
Get too confident where like
get
you
too
just leave
confident.
him alone.
Exactly. You just
Because it only
can't
takes
do
a
that.
second for him to do
It
something.
only takes a second. I remember in Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona, the coach Simeone, he didn't celebrate a goal from Fernando Torres because he noticed that Messi was warming up, and he said it post conference. They were like, "Why didn't you celebrate that goal?" He's like, "Oh, because I noticed Messi was warming up, and he scored, and they won the game." Like it was,
Yeah.
Messi's unbelievable in that.
That's one thing that I will. I guess you got to admire about him.
Yeah.
That he brought the fear out and he brought the best out in a lot of people.
He did.
Right.
He did.
Yeah, and I guess we're gonna miss the Clásicos with him in it, and
Without him,
without him, and it's gonna be weird, but it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the last time he scored in a Clásico was when Ronaldo was still playing for Madrid.
That's what I'm saying. So they brought it out of each other. Yeah.
Exactly. So speaking of Ronaldo and Messi, do you guys think we could ever see another rivalry in sports? Not only in soccer, you know what I mean? In sports general, where two guys can just dominate the game, such a high level, score, in soccer where
For that
score
long.
60 goals a season and dominate for that long. Would we be able to see that?
It's hard to say. I would say not for a very long time because I mean Messi's God-given talent and Cristiano is one of the hardest working athletes out there. I mean, he reminds me of working as hard as Michael Jordan. So if people like Mbappe and Haaland, if they're not putting in the work and they're not risking it all like Ronaldo, I don't think we'll be able to see that. Ronaldo put everything into soccer. He sacrificed a lot, and Messi is just a God-given talent. So I mean, unless players are willing to put in that much work and beyond, I don't think we'll see another rivalry like that. And plus, we need two, not just one. So we need two. So
yeah.
Right.
So
I agree. I mean, it's going to be hard to accomplish that, especially for I think they said 15 years at the highest level for both of them. Like where they started before then, but I think like where they both were at the peak of their game.
Right.
And I don't know that we will ever see anything like that. I mean, like, what other rivalries do you have that are one-on-one like that? Even though it's a team sport, like, I mean, like you have Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, or like, you have Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, but that didn't last as long as Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, where the whole world saw that happen before their eyes, where they grew up before your eyes.
Right.
But I don't think it. We'll see, but I don't.
I hope so.
Happen.
I want that.
Oh, absolutely! I would love to see that happen. But the day somebody passes, exactly. But the day somebody passes those 678 goals for Barcelona, like that would be a big deal. Like, or however many goals Ronaldo has right now, or that's going to be a humongous deal.
Exactly.
And I look forward to it if it happens.
Yeah, me too. I like I said, I think they brought the best out of each other.
Yeah, exactly.
We need, hopefully we can get that in the future where we get two other players where they get the best out of each other.
And it was always nice. Yeah. Sorry, it was always nice to find out that they respected each other tremendously. Yeah. And when they would meet up, like each other's their kids would love the other ones. Like Cristiano's kid would love Messi, and then Messi's kid would love Ronaldo. And it was always cool. There was no like beef between them. It was just a really friendly. It was just
competition,
just to be the best.
They're competitors, they're soldiers, they're gladiators, and they would leave it all on the pitch. But when they were done, it was cordial. You know, and that's the same with like, let's say like one of Messi's new teammates, which is going to be Sergio Ramos. Like, dude, they would go at it.
They hated each other.
They would go at it hard. They hated each other between the lines, but somehow they always respected each other. And you know, so one of them would talk about their moms while playing soccer, but like when you were done, you would give them a hug and you would respect them, and they would always talk positive things. You know,
And it wasn't
the
Mother's
press
Day.
conference. It wasn't
And
Mother's
it wasn't
Day,
Mother's
but they
Day.
would.
So, what are the expectations of PSG now that they assembled this really nice team? It seems like they built the team from back all the way to the front. Now it seems like they have all the bases covered. Do you guys think they'll be finally able to get over that hump of not winning the big one? Can they actually do it now with this team?
What's the big one? The Champions League.
The Champions League, right.
What do you think, Dan?
I think all signs point to yes. On paper, they're amazing. They got every player that you could possibly ever want. It's like a FIFA 22 All-Star game, basically,
Right.
on one team. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't know that even since the Galacticos of Real Madrid have we seen that much talent in one team, or that many big names on one team at once. And we saw how that ended. So
Right.
we'll see. I mean, it doesn't always work out the way we think when you have that much money involved, and you know, people ask the question, can money buy a championship? Not always, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens with this team because, like I said, it's like an all-star game every day.
Yeah. Julian, do you think the egos, because there's some big egos in that team, do you think they'll be able to mash up and gel?
I think we're gonna see some great games. I'm excited to watch them. I'm gonna be looking more forward to watching them. Can they win the Champions League? I mean, like Daniel said, on paper, they have every ingredient that they need. But historically speaking, when a team has this much talent on one team, something just ends up going wrong at the end. I don't know if it's the pressure or something, but I mean, I kind of want them to win a Champions League, but I don't think they're going to. At the end of the day, I don't think they're going to, but we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to watching the games.
Yeah, I think like Julian said, like they would have to somehow find a way to put their pride aside.
Yeah.
And yeah, just put their pride aside and lead each other basically and do it for the team.
Do something that hasn't been seen in a big team name with a lot of players. Do something that hasn't been seen. Maybe even Messi might have to, or Neymar, or Di Maria, or Mbappe might have to like put everything to the side of winning all the individual titles and just mesh like they've never meshed before, like a team.
Mm-hmm.
Then they can win everything.
Maybe kind of pass along the leadership role to one person, which would be, or maybe two, being, you know, Ramos and Messi being the players that have the most experience at winning, and basically they're some of the oldest, so just playing in general. I think that would have to happen in order for them to be a success.
We've seen how, you know, when Messi does lead a team or try to this past couple of years in Barcelona, we saw the end result of that. When the team was not clicking, he was not, you know, it wasn't
good.
Right.
That's one of Messi's weaknesses, as I don't think he's a good leader in that sense. He's super talented, and I think that's where him and Cristiano Ronaldo differ. Messi is not a leader, and that's one reason, if not the main reason, as to why I wouldn't have Messi on my team. over Ronaldo. Messi just doesn't lead a team well. It's a battle. He can
Mhm.
back it up individually, but it's just really hard for him to lead a whole team. So
Yeah.
I think Sergio Ramos, if he steps up, I think he can lead the whole team into a Champions League.
Mhm.
We have
I
seen in
agree with
Champions
that.
League though that every game it's different. So we've seen small teams come in and go on that big run and knock out some big teams in the tournament. So I think they need to tread lightly, but they can definitely do it. They can definitely sweep all the titles that are coming up on
Yeah.
up ahead of this season. Daniel, do you think with Messi's arrival to the French league, do you think the French league will get an influx of players? They're dubbed the quote unquote farmers league. Um, would that title change? Would it go to somewhere else? Can new players come? New talent for other teams, not just for Paris?
Yeah, I mean, I think it should. I mean, there's definitely going to be more money in the French league. There's going to be more people watching, more people buying jerseys. Um, it's going to be an instant impact for this team, basically, and they're basically it's going to trickle down to the smaller teams. I think. Um, I think the other people are going to have to step up their game as well. Because if you have a team with that much quality, you know, they have to step up their game to even be in the top three or top of the table.
Right. The talent is going to improve.
Yeah, and it like that that interest that it's creating, that creates interest in the neighborhoods of Paris, of the outskirts of Paris and other parts of France, that builds up other players, younger Mbappe's or Neymar's in Paris and basically around the world even. But I think
Yeah.
it's gonna have a huge impact on that league. It's going more people are gonna be open to going. Oh, because Messi did it, then I can do it too, or
Right.
it's a viable option, you
Right.
know.
I just hope
And
they don't turn into like what Bayern is for Germany. Bayern, it's what are they, like the 6-time champion already? Like
yeah,
back to
yeah,
back
yeah,
to back to back to back,
yeah,
and they just buy other teams' stars. I hope that doesn't happen. I really hope that other teams can take advantage of this. Hopefully there's
yeah.
new revenue coming in and buy some players and make a run,
Yeah.
compete for the title.
Well, I mean, you saw last year where Leo won. I mean, like that wasn't supposed to happen with a team with Neymar and Mbappe and all those stars. Obviously, Messi and Ramos wasn't there, and Hakimi and those
Right.
players, but still, that wasn't supposed to happen with that much talent on one team.
Right.
Right.
On paper, we would have thought, oh, PSG would have blown everybody out of the water, but
Yeah. I mean,
Leo
anything
came
is
from
possible
behind.
now. Anything
Yeah,
is possible. So
but we'll see. We'll see. I think it's good for the French league for sure. They
yeah,
have to get
I
they.
think so too.
I don't know. I don't know that it's totally a deserved name or that they're called the Farmers League. But they have to get rid of that. They have to get rid of that name, and I think this will help.
Right. Now, what do you guys, Julio? Do you think the objective is to win the league, or do you think they're putting all their eggs in the Champions League basket?
Definitely a Champions League. The Champions League is how you know that the team is gonna dominate
Right.
all of Europe. So it's definitely a Champions League. I mean, yeah, they have to win the league. I think Messi would want to win the league on an individual level, just so he can say
Right.
he won the league and
He won it.
outside of Barcelona, La Liga. But yeah,
Yeah, the Champions League is by far that's the goal.
that's
And
the
if
goal,
they
yeah.
don't win it, I mean, it would kind of be a real big disappointment.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think we we are looking forward to that. We're looking forward to this upcoming French season as well as the Champions League and see how it unfolds.
we'll see how it turns out. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it on the pod.
I'm
We'll talk
excited.
about it.
I'll definitely watch a lot more French
I'll watch
league.
it. The Champions League games are gonna be
Um,
cool. It would be really
yeah.
nice if PSG versus Barcelona, PSG versus Real Madrid. That'd be.
Yeah, that would
see
be
it.
nuts.
But yeah, guys, that was a interesting episode. We
Yeah,
talked all
3
about
Madrid
Messi.
fans talking about Messi. But showing respect, right? Like
Show him
you
respect.
gotta
Nothing
show
but
him his
respect.
respect
Do,
because
right.
he's done so much for the game and elevated it to a whole nother level. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what he does at the French league. So
Me too. All right, guys. Well, that was episode 6. Don't forget, we are on Spotify now, so listen to us on Spotify and follow us on Instagram at the Midfield Podcast and on Twitter at the Midfield Pod, and like and subscribe on YouTube. And thank you guys for watching. That was episode 6. Thank you guys so much.
See you guys later.
Peace.
peace.